Hello everybody, so today I am reviewing actually an entire series. I was originally just going to review them one at a time, but then I read this whole series in the span of 7 or 8 days. So I don't think I'd be able to distinguish them individually enough at this point in my head to review them individually. So I'm reviewing the entire Mortal Instruments series that is currently published. And yes, City of Ashes is not in here because my mom is currently reading it. For those of you who don't know, the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare started being published in 2007 by Margaret K. McElroy Books. And the series goes City of Bones, City of Ashes, which I don't have on me, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, and City of Lost Souls. And there are currently 5 books published, but there will be 6. And I was under the impression when I began reading the series that the final one was being published this fall. It's actually not going to be published until next May. So here's hoping I remember everything that happened in the series. The basic premise of the series is that there is this girl, this 16, 17-year-old girl named Clary Frey. Clary thinks she's a fairly normal girl. She has an overprotective mom. Her dad died before she was born. Her best friend Simon and her are out at a club and she sees these people that no one else can see, and they're covered in tattoos and they murder someone or they're killing someone, which is very confusing to her because no one else can see them and they're committing these crimes, and what is she supposed to do? Turns out that they are what are called shadow hunters and they fight demons in the regular world, and Clary can see them because she has what is called the sight. And basically it just kind of takes off from there. She discovers this whole world that she's actually a part of but was kept from all these years. Her mom was born into this world and she has a large part to play within the world and the current situation of what's going on within it. This book has an incredible following. There are some really die-hard Mortal Instruments fans. I personally read the series because the first one, City of Bones, is being made into a film coming out in August, and it's starring Lily Collins, who I have a massive girl crush on, and I think she's so talented, so I wanted to check out the film. So I figured I'll pick up the first one, and then the second, third, fourth, and fifth. The thing about Cassandra Clare that's always held me back from reading the series is that she used to be a fanfiction writer. And not only was she a very popular Harry Potter fanfiction writer, but she also was caught plagiarizing other people's fanfiction as her own, and it always just kind of put me off. If you want to know more about that, you can read Melissa and Ellie's Harry History, or you could just, you know, look through old forums, I'm sure, online. But it kind of put me off reading because I was like, I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. It's a weird situation. But yeah, I decided to read it anyway, and I do think that the first 2 or 3 books definitely read a lot like fanfiction. If you've ever read fanfiction, there is just like this weird, hyper-aware quality to it. Also, there's some really corny writing, especially when it comes to the Jace character, who is like, I guess the main love interest, whatever. Yeah, there's definitely some corny writing that I don't fully buy, especially in the early books. My favorite book in the series so far is actually the latest one published, which is City of Lost Souls, because I do think that Claire's writing has improved a ton. I think that this book had the most interesting story. I think that every character involved had a role to play, and overall I just think it was the best book so far. But look how corny that cover is. It looks like a really cheesy, it's like a paranormal, super cheesy romance novel. Kind of ridiculous. Overall, I have to say that I did enjoy it. I thought it was really interesting. I got really caught up in the stories, and I think that the history behind it, and my favorite character is Magnus Spain, because he's very old and he's like 900 years old, so he has all this history behind him, so I thought he was a really interesting character. And I like the world that is created in these books. I don't really buy a lot of the romance. I think some of the relationships between characters is a little weird, and I think there are a lot of instances of it perpetuating weird stereotypes. I don't want to spoil anything, so I don't want to say specifically what bothered me, but there was a line, I believe in the first book, about one of the characters, Isabel, and how Jace looks at Isabel and Isabel knows that she's beautiful and she flaunts it, and one of the reasons Clary is so beautiful is because she doesn't see that she's beautiful. I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel. Though I do think that it got less like that as the books went on. This is making no sense, and I apologize. I'm not going to give the whole series a rating, but you can look on Goodreads for my specific reviews on, or my specific ratings on each book. I didn't review them on Goodreads. But the lowest rating I gave was 3 stars, the highest was 4, so they kind of all range between 3, 3.5, and 4 stars. And yeah, I am excited for the film. I think it looks really awesome. I actually really want to see the film specifically for this book, City of Fallen Angels. I think that that would be a really cool film, so I'm really hoping the film series makes it at least to the 4th book, also the 5th one because that's my favorite. I would recommend this series if you're just looking for something like fairly light but something that really wraps you up in a great story. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you're doing the booktube-a-thon, I'm very jealous of you. I mean, I kind of did my own booktube-a-thon reading this whole series and reading a few other books that I've read in the last week, but I can't actually do the full-on booktube-a-thon this week because I have a lot of things going on. But if you're doing it, have a lot of fun, and I'll be watching all your videos on it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!